Yo, what's good? What's good? So, going into this album, I wanted to listen to it a few more times, to get a real perspective on it. And I will say that at first I didn't understand the interludes, but I think that's the DJ that passed away. So, RIP to Shay. I do believe that's who it is. Now, going into this album, I didn't really know what to expect. Like I said, the singles he released, Frontlines, we heard that was going on with that dropped when the police was doing what they was doing, killing us basically. That was a dope record. And the Lemon record featuring Method Man, which is crazy. He didn't even curse one time in the actual song, which was dope in his verse. And I do believe he released the Fear of God record with Dej Loaf, which is my favorite song on here, one of them at least. But a lot of people not really feeling the Dej Loaf, her contribution to the record, whatever the fuck that means. And so listening to it, it was a couple beats that I was just like, they're all right. They wasn't, as good as I thought they can be. The hooks on here they was lackluster. I'm gonna keep it 100, but the content is strong. These are just the things that I kind of was just like iffy on. Armani Caesar, I think that's the female that signed to Griselda as well. I'm gonna keep it 100. She sounds like old Nicki. It's nothing really amazing about her. I seen her first single that's featuring, I want to say, Benny the Butcher, and she got an album coming out. I'm not really impressed. It just seems like we can't not say it. I mean, it seems like a Nicki clone or whatever the case may be, but I can't judge her just based off a verse and an actual song. Got to hit her body of work, but I wasn't really amazed at her contribution to the actual Enza song. That's just me. What else that I kind of was like iffy on? The Juvenile Hell record is dope. I don't see, that's the thing. I'm listening to it. I know Flea Lord and Banks has a verse, but I think what is his name? I fucking forget. Mobb Deep, Havoc. I think he has more of a hook than a verse. And I was just like, well, all right, that's that. Of course, Freddie Gibbs' verse, it was funny. I was trying to listen. I was like, did he just say, I seen Snow on TikTok, the streets is done? I thought that was hilarious. If that's what he meant, meaning Jeezy, Snow, that used to be his, moniker back in the day. But other than that, it was a great record. I definitely enjoyed the record. Forever Dropping Tears, he spoke on his friendship, his man's, I thought that was a real, it was a heartwarming actual song, you know what I mean? And the last track, Nothing Less, production done by Primo, which was crazy. Jesus Christ is another good one. But overall, he definitely did what he did. He spoke on his past, of course, drug dealing, industry niggas. And the notable thing that stood out to me was when he said a lot of niggas are sounding Griselda-esque. He also shouted out a few podcast people, and I thought that was pretty dope. But overall, yeah, Conway definitely did his thing on here. The verses is there, the flow is there, money talk, letting niggas know I was getting money before this rap shit. And he spoke on the list, when they do these lists and shit and put rappers on the list, it's supposed to be dope. He spoke on that. I thought that was pretty fire. Benny came through and did what he did. The Spurs 3 record, I'm not too happy with the beat though. They all did what they did, but I just feel like if it had a better beat, Benny killed it, don't get me wrong, but I just feel like the beat was just, it was lackluster, to put it in a nicer form of saying that I didn't enjoy the actual production on the record, because I don't want to sound like I'm hating, because I'm not. But he definitely did his thing, starting off with From King. Now I did see like a little, I don't know what it is, if he actually doing a video for it, but I'm quite sure y'all follow him on Instagram. Y'all seen that. I don't know if it was just him thanking the fans and they were just shooting that for a promo, but if he actually doing a video, I definitely want to see that. I enjoyed the Lemon video. I think the actual video makes the song better, because sometimes with me, I'll listen to the song and I'm like, oh, it's cool, but then the actual video will make it a little bit better, and sometimes it backfire where you'll have a fucking video that's crazy, but you may not like the song. Similar to like the Childish Gambino song back in the day. Well, not back in the day, but like a year or two ago, where he dropped the song and we was like, but then we see the video and it's like, okay, it makes you appreciate the song that much more. But yeah, starting off with From King, I definitely enjoyed that. Fear of God, I fuck with that. Doe and Damani was definitely dope as well. You know what I mean? I was just like, holy shit. You know, the production behind that, Alchemist did what he did on that joint. It was crazy. A lot of ad libs on this shit. You know what I mean? And I was just like, damn, these niggas go crazy with the ad libs. What else did I enjoy? Seen Everything But Jesus, like I said. Freddie Gibbs did his thing. That was a different type of production, a different sound, and that stood out to me, where it's not like the grimy type music they're usually making as far as the production. That stood out to me. What was the other one? Forever Dropping Tears, like I said, was another one with the production. Yeah, man, it was just a solid body of work. What could you say about it that wasn't bad or good? You know what I mean? Because I think a lot of it was good. And I do feel like the Enza record featuring Armani, that did sound like Drake should have been on that record. I don't know if anybody's saying it, but if you listen to it, the beat, the production, it just sounded like some shit to where it was so different from Conway being on it. I'm like, damn, he rapped on this type of beat? You know what I mean? It has more of a commercial appeal, like a radio sound. And I'm listening to it, I'm like, damn, Drake would have went crazy on this shit. You know what I mean? But he put, you know, the fellow Griselda artist on it, which wasn't a bad look, but it's just like, damn, you would have loved to hear Drake on that, because I know that they was talking about they was working with each other. But overall, man, this is a solid project. You know, 14 records. Sometimes they keep it limited to like 7 to 10 records, so I wasn't really mad at it. But Forever Dropping Tears was a great way to finish the album. I don't feel like he needed to add the bonus tracks. I feel like those should have just came out as singles and not be a part of the album, because I feel like he closed the album out perfectly. You know what I mean? Once you start it off and you get to that last track, and it just sounds like a finale of an album. You know, and I was just like, damn, I wish he just would have left them other 2 joints as singles where niggas can just go buy them and stream them, because he closed the album out perfectly. You know what I mean? And he boasts a lot about having verse of the year, album of the year, you know, and in all honesty, this is definitely one of the most standout projects I've heard from him. You know, I haven't heard everything he's dropped, but to me, this is one of the ones, and it's not even his Shady Records debut album. So I'm like, damn, what else is he dropping? Because I thought the GOAT project, from what I heard, a subscriber let me know that the GOAT project was supposed to be his Shady debut. I remember him saying that, but it's not. And it's like, damn, he's still dropping all these projects and shit, and still no debut album. I'm like, well, if he can get better than this, that's crazy. You know what I mean? And he also talked about how he made bread off T-shirts. You know, they do be moving a lot of merch. I'm not going to lie on that. I've seen a lot of people, you know, purchasing and going crazy over the merch. And that's pretty dope as well. But at the end of the day, yeah, you know, he's here, you know, to stay. And what did he say? I'm the new Jim Jones. I mean, I wouldn't go that far. No disrespect. But I definitely, you know, you look at Jim Jones' career, you know what I mean, from being with Cam from the beginning, basically being, you know, the hype man, to him dropping his first album, doing mixtapes, into where, if you listen to Jim Jones' last 3 bodies of work, he's got incredible with the lyrics and everything. But it's not a Jim Jones video. I just wanted to say that. But, you know what I mean? He definitely dope. I will give him that. You know, he has to be in the top 10. I don't care who you are or what rappers you like. You know, he definitely got to be in the top 10 as far as lyrics. You know, and some of the wittiness was, like, I feel like the wittiness of Conway kind of took, it wasn't really in the forefront this time. You know what I mean? Because when I first was listening to Conway, his lyrics was crazy. I mean, it's like cutting the fat off and getting straight to the point. That's the overall message that I got from this album. He got straight to the point. You know, he didn't bombard you with a whole bunch of metaphors and bars and everything like that. He still spit and had little bars here and there and some good quintessential lines, but he basically was forward with his message. Whatever he wanted to convey, the message he wanted to convey, he basically just skipped the bullshit and got straight to it, and I can appreciate that. You know what I mean? But as far as how Benny would rap, you know, with the bars and the metaphors and shit like that, and say crazy shit, Conway definitely had some on here, but he just overall had to get a lot of shit off his chest. So I'm starting to see when he say that when he's writing, and then when he'll just go in the booth and just go in, I definitely feel like this project, he just went in. I'm not saying he didn't write any lyrics for this album, but you could definitely tell the difference. Well, at least I could. That, you know what I mean, he just gifted at words to where he can just go in there, get a beat, and just rap over it. you know what I mean, and create a song. And you can tell when somebody's writing and when somebody's just basically good at freestyling, but it's making a point to say he still got something to say, even if he didn't write it down. But overall, this is a solid album. I fuck with it. I definitely enjoyed it. I keep going back to Fear of God. I don't know if it's just the production with his flow, his cadence, his lyrics. I just love that song. I wish the song was actually longer. You know what I mean? I don't mind Dej Loaf on the record, you know what I mean? But I thought she would have had a verse, but I guess the hook is cool. But anyway, from King to a God, I definitely fuck with it. It's definitely up there for one of the gooder albums of 2020. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about it. I just wanted to drop this off, you know, because I didn't want people thinking that I had something bad to say about it, because I don't. And I'm looking forward to Benny's next project, definitely, because to me, he's a standout of the Griselda crew. Nigga just coming with the craziest, wittiest shit. But what are y'all 5 records off here that's y'all favorites? Y'all let me know. Thanks for supporting the channel. You know, I appreciate it, whether I get views or don't. I just appreciate somebody paying attention. So other than that, I'm going to go ahead and go. I'm going to holler at y'all next time. 1.